Hello and welcome to Classes of Pre. Today we are going to study Biology chapter Transpiration part 2. So let's start. So we will continue this video with kinds of transpiration. The previous topics I have discussed in the previous video, that is part 1. If you haven't checked, please go and check it. And now let's start kinds of transpiration. Transpiration from the aerial part of plants occurs from three different reasons. First, from the leaves to the stomata, that is stomatal transpiration. Second, directly from the surface of the leaves and stems, that is cuticular transpiration. And third, from the lenticels, which are the minute openings on the surface of old stems, that is lenticular transpiration. Now, first, stomatal transpiration. Stomata are minute openings in the epidermal layer of leaves. A stomata is surrounded by two bean-shaped guard cells. During daytime, the stomata are wide open for the intake of CO2 for photosynthesis. In stomatal transpiration, the water vapor escapes to the stomata of the leaf. Water, after absorption by the root from the soil, rises up through the stem and reaches the tissues of the leaves through veins. Stomata are minute structures occurring in large numbers on the lower epidermis of a leaf. Stomata occurs as long as the stomata are open, but it stops when they are closed. The opening and closing mechanism of stomata is regulated by the amount of water and solutes present in the guard cells. As the stomata open during the daytime, the diffusion of gases in and out starts fulfilling the need for photosynthesis as well as allowing transpiration. If for any reason the water content of the leaf is falling short, the guard cells fail to remain turgid. Rather, they turn flaccid. They lose turgidity, thereby closing the stomatal opening and transpiration stops. Do you know leaves of some plants wilt during midday and recover in the evening? Yeah, in some plants, that is balsam, the leaves of the plants wilt during the midday in spite of the fact that there is plenty of water in the soil. In such cases, the rate of transpiration during midday exceeds the rate of absorption by water by the roots. The cells therefore lose turgidity. In the evening or during the night, the stomata are constricted and the temperature is not high. Therefore, there is no loss of water through transpiration, and the turgidity of the leaves is reacquired and they stand out erect. Stomatal transpiration is controlled by the plant by adjusting the size of the stoma, whereas this does not happen in case of cuticular and lenticular transpiration. Now second, cuticular transpiration. Cuticle is a waxy layer secreted by the epidermis on the two surfaces of the leaves. The thickness of the cuticle varies from plant to plant. The cuticle serves to prevent evaporation of water from the leaf surfaces. However, some evaporation does occur. The greater the thickness of the cuticle, the lesser is the evaporation. Desert plants tend to have thicker cuticles to cut down transpiration. Now the third, lenticular transpiration. Lenticels are special openings that develop on the barks of older stems in place of stomata. This allows diffusion of gases for respiration as well as for photosynthesis. Lenticels never close. They remain open all the time. Water from the cell surfaces directly facing the lenticel evaporates and contributes to transpiration. The amount of transpiration from lenticels is certainly more than the cuticular transpiration, but very much less than the stomatal transpiration. Now, factors that affect transpiration. So the first is external factors. So in external factors, the first point is intensity of sunlight. During the day, the stomata are open to facilitate the inward diffusion of CO2 for photosynthesis. At night, they are closed. Therefore, more transpiration occurs during the day. When it is cloudy during the day, the stomata are particularly closed and transpiration is reduced. Now second, temperature. If the outside temperature is higher, there is more evaporation from the leaves. Therefore, more transpiration. Increase in temperature allows more water to evaporate and the decrease in temperature reduces evaporation. Warm air can hold more water than cold air. Now third, velocity of wind. Transpiration increases with the velocity of wind. If the wind blows faster, the water vapor released during transpiration is removed faster and the area outside the leaf does not get saturated with water vapor. Fourth, humidity. Transpiration is reduced if the air outside is humid. High humidity in the air reduces the rate of outward diffusion of the internal water vapor across stomata, thereby reducing the rate of transpiration. Carbon dioxide. Increase in the carbon dioxide level in the outside air over normal, that is 0.03%, causes stomatal closure and results in the decrease of transpiration. Sixth point, atmospheric pressure. Rate of transpiration increases with the decrease in atmospheric pressure. Thus, it enhances diffusion of water vapor. Now, B, that is internal factors. So the point is water content of the leaves. If the water content of the leaf decreases due to insufficient absorption of water by the roots, the leaves wilt and transpiration is reduced. Such reduction in transpiration is indirectly due to the closure of stomata, and it is a natural mechanism of conserving water within the plant. Now, adaptations in plants to reduce excessive transpiration. Many plants, and especially those which grow in a dry climate, have evolved a variety of permanent adaptations to curtail transpiration. Some of these adaptations are as follows. First is sunken stomata. The stomata may be sunken or covered by hairs, that example Nerium. Okay. Second, fewer stomata. The number of stomata may be reduced. Third, narrow leaves. The leaves may become narrower to reduce surface area. Fourth, reduced exposed surfaces. In some cases, leaves may get waxy, rolled or folded to reduce exposed surface. Fifth, loss of leaves. In some cases, leaves may be dropped or may be absent or changed into spines, as in most cacti. Sixth, thick cuticle. The leaves may be covered by thick cuticle, that example banana and most evergreen trees. Now, significance of transpiration. Transpiration has great significance for the plants. Its main advantages are: first, cooling effect. Evaporation reduces temperature of leaf surface. Therefore, transpiration is useful to plants on hot sunny days. At intense heat, the enzymes are destroyed. Second, suction force. Transpiration helps in the ascent of sap by producing a suction force acting from the top of a plant. Evaporation from the leaves concentrates cell sap and increases their osmotic pressure. This draws water from the cells at the lower levels in a sequential manner, and finally favors absorption of water from the soil by the roots. As the water evaporates from the leaves, a suction force is produced at the top of the plant, drawing more water up through the stem and making the roots absorb more of it from the soil. Third point, distribution of water and mineral salts. Since leaves are present at the tips of all branches and twigs, transpiration from their surfaces tends to draw water towards them and thus helps in the distribution of water throughout. Fourth is elimination of excess of water from these plants. Now, transpiration affects climate. It has been shown experimentally that plants give out large quantities of water during transpiration. First, a full-grown single sunflower plant is estimated to lose about half a liter of water per day in the form of water vapor. Second, a single maize plant loses about 2 liters of water per day. Third, a large apple tree may lose about 30 liters of water per day. So this gives an idea of the huge quantities of water released into the atmosphere by vast stretches of fields and particularly forest. Thus, transpiration increases the moisture in the atmosphere and brings rain. In this way, transpiration from plants affects climate. So, forests contribute in bringing rain. In this, transpiration is the secret. Now, we'll see differentiation between evaporation and transpiration. Evaporation, it is the loss of water from the surface of water bodies in the form of vapor, and transpiration, it is the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Evaporation is a physical change controlled by the temperature and humidity of the atmosphere, but transpiration is a vital and partially a physical process controlled by both internal and external factors. Evaporation is a fast process, but transpiration is a slow process. Now, direct loss of water by plants. Some plants may lose water directly, that is in liquid form and not as water vapor. It occurs in two ways. First, guttation. It is the loss of water as droplets along the margins of the leaves, that is through hydrothols in some plants like banana, strawberry, nasturtium. The leaves of certain plants exhibit droplets of water along their margins in the morning. This particularly happens in plants growing in warm, humid conditions. A humid environment hampers transpiration while the roots continue to absorb water from the soil. This builds up a big hydrostatic pressure within the plant and forces out the excess water directly from the tips of veins in the leaves. Special pore-bearing structures called hydrothoids are present on the margins of the leaves to allow this exudation. Guttation can be absorbed in many plants and is quite common in banana, strawberry, nasturtium. Now the second is bleeding. It is the direct flow of plant sap from any cut surfaces in case of injury. This happens only due to injury. The plant sap escapes from the ruptured or cut surfaces of plant. The root pressure generated by a plant assists in bleeding. Now, differences between transpiration and guttation. So transpiration, in this water is lost in the form of vapor, but in guttation water is lost in the form of water droplets. In transpiration it occurs in the presence of sunlight, but guttation it occurs at night or early morning. Transpiration it occurs during dry conditions. Guttation it occurs in humid conditions. Transpiration it cools the plant body, but guttation it has no such effect on the plant. So here the chapter transpiration is completed. If you like the video, please turn the black thumb blue and subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.